No way. It couldn't be. Yes, folks, it is AJ Lee making her in-ring return at the Royal Rumble. At the Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble.
That'd be a huge reaction. And that's a lot of fun stuff. And now you know how you've had women, I think it's Beth Phoenix and Chyna, enter into the men's Royal Rumble. Imagine a couple guys entering into the women's Royal Rumble. Imagine Sam Roberts, who you can listen to him at the Sam Roberts Wrestling Podcast, which is definitely awesome podcast to listen to. Imagine him coming out. That'd be hilarious. Imagine King, Jerry Lawler comes out, and he gets to be completely surrounded by his puppies. Imagine James Ellsworth comes back. That's funny. Man, that would be hilarious. But what I'm super stoked about knowing about a possibility of a women's Royal Rumble is the fact that WrestleMania, we will actually get a proper build-up to the women's match and a proper women's WrestleMania match. Guys, I'm going to be frank with you. The women division doesn't really have, a lot of huge highlights from WrestleMania. They just don't really get glorified. And you have this whole women's revolution, and I'm doing quotes for those who can't see me. It's like, dude, come on. That was nice, before it ended. And yeah, I said ended, the pay-per-view matches have been, terrible. Besides the first, Hell in a Cell, first cage match, besides those, it's like they got a 2 weeks to prep for a match. Yeah, and that's including WrestleMania, 2 weeks to prep for a match. Okay, let me break it down for you a little bit. Imagine you have 3 left in the Royal Rumble. You got Charlotte as champion and Alexa Bliss as champion on SmackDown. Charlotte on Raw. Now, one of those two are going to be... They're both going to be at WrestleMania, but one of them is going to be defending the winner of the title against the winner of the Royal Rumble. Now, imagine you have 3 left. Ember Moon, who makes her debut at the Royal Rumble. You have Asuka, who's just dominant force. And then you have a comeback, Awesome Kong. That'd be sick. Now look at the plethora of matches that there could be. Sorry, I knocked over the damn can. Okay, now you have Awesome Kong versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. That would be a heavy, sick match. I'm not talking about heavyweight. Just stop. Just don't go there. Now you can have Ember Moon versus Alexa Bliss. Dude, blow the roof off of the place, if there is one. Where are we going? Orlando? No, that was last week. New Orleans. It would blow the roof off of the place. And now what I think's going to happen, Asuka wins the Royal Rumble. Asuka goes on and fights for the title against Charlotte at WrestleMania. Think about that. That'd be awesome. Proper build. That'd be sick. Or you can have Ember Moon toss out Asuka, and then that sets them up for another good match again, knowing that Ember Moon's kind of gotten her big return. And then they have a thing where the winner of that match goes on to fight for the women's on SmackDown, and the loser goes to fight women's on Raw, and vice versa. There's a lot of cool stuff that can happen with this. But my main thing is a proper build-up. A proper build-up to a women's WrestleMania match. Boom, bingo, get excited. That would be so freaking sweet. And now with the 2 trios, imagine both of them in the ring at the same time at the Royal Rumble. That, my friends, is another proper build-up to a WrestleMania match. You got 3 proper build-ups to the rest. That's a women's revolution right there, if there ever is one. having 3 women's matches. One probably on the pre-show, but WrestleMania pre-show is a pretty big deal in itself. Now, a 3-on-3 against those 2 with a proper build-up, dude, that's sick. Sick. Sick, 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 sweet. Now, that's the kind of stuff that I want to see. Now, I wish we had more time, guys, but I just want to actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and do it now. This is the first episode. Let's go ahead and go into it. Now, staying on the same topic, I want to kind of introduce you to the women of NXT who made their main roster debut. Ruby Riott. She was trained by Billy Rock, OVW Wrestling School, and WWE Performance Center. She has a big career in the Indies as well. Now, she has a rating of an average at 9.9, which is a big deal. People like her, guys. There's a quote from, from Twitter handle at GameWiz14, who wrote, Ruby Riott is a promising girl who's been honing her craft in the independent scene for the last few years. Whether it's Shimmer, Smash Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling, she has great connection with the fans who will love her endearingly when she wrestles. And then another wrote, Nika Wrestling 7 wrote, with 6 years of experience, Ruby Riott is already better than 60% of the main roster women. She easily clicks with the crowd. She has the potential to be a WWE's next top babyface, or heel in my opinion. Next top babyface. Also, I think she's hella attractive. That's Hella, hella attractive. Yeah, I think so too. She's a pretty girl, thug. So that's Ruby Riott for you guys. Now let me go through my notes. Sorry you can hear that. That's unprofessional. Now Liv Morgan, pretty blonde. She was trained by the Performance Center, so she is open canvas. So she's new. She's new to this. Now, Phoenix Rising 1 wrote, she's really good for only being 3 years in the business. I feel with a couple more years, she has the potential to be a big star. She's only 23, so she has plenty of time to improve and can have a really long career ahead of her. And her rating is about 0.6, which is just because she hasn't been around long enough for people to really, get to rate her properly. Now, Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan was trained by Taka Michinoku, who is her trainer, and she wrestled in the Independents and as well as the Mae Young Classic. And Kawada Driver wrote, haven't seen much of her. She's young. I'm sure she'll improve. From what I've seen, she's good in the ring, but far from being a top performer. Ouch. Now, Rick Darris wrote, Sarah Logan is simply awesome. At 22, she is an up-and-coming future star. She is already traveling the globe and has had 3 NXT matches, so she is on WWE's radar. 2 years in the Performance Center polishing her craft. She could very well become one of the best ever. Loving her gimmick too. Nothing but blue skies ahead of this future megastar. And that was written actually a day before she debuted in the main roster. So I guess he was pretty good at telling the future. All right. Now, Sonya Deville. She was actually, and I don't know if you guys remember, she was actually trained in Tough Enough by Booker T, Billy Gunn, and Lita Hardy. And she's still continuing to train in the Performance Center. She has a background in MMA, which is cool. I like wrestling, women's wrestling like that. Now, Super Mark wrote, I watched Sonya Deville faced Asuka in a dark match at NXT San Jose, and it shattered my expectations. The crowd started chanting, Asuka's gonna kill you, before the match started, but 10 minutes later they were shouting, this is awesome. It was honestly the match of the night. 10 minutes later, I thought she was a scrub before, but now I see her as a big-time player. Alright guys, you heard that. Her average rating is at 0.8, which is pretty good, so pay attention to Sonya Deville. It's someone that you really want to keep an eye on. Mandy Rose. People know Mandy Rose, so I don't have to talk about her. Just kidding. Mandy Rose was also trained as a Tough Enough with Booker T, Billy Gunn, Lita Hardy, and is in the Performance Center. Now she is rated a 0.9, and I think that's just for the pretty face. But Assault Driver 720 wrote, man, some fans have no patience. Why give her a low rating when she hasn't been on NXT TV very often? She only been wrestling on NXT house shows. So far, she has done all right with the limited time we have seen her on NXT TV. That was actually an old comment. I didn't mean to read that one, sorry. This is a newer one. She's pretty awesome. Her match with Asuka in a house show was so good. I love her. She has such a bright future ahead of her, and she's hot as can be. She is to me the next Trish Stratus. Alright guys, so that is your topic of the day, and that was brought to you by me, Brady Owens, your host of the Brady Owens Wrestling Podcast. So guys, that is it for the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was rough, I know it was rusty, and I know it could be a lot better, so go ahead and shoot me emails at BradyOwensWrestling@gmail.com. Text me at 940-327-7246. Message me on Instagram, message me on Facebook, DM me on Instagram at Brady Owens Wrestling. And guys, please, I beg you, listen, subscribe, download, share, and enjoy all the future episodes to come. I'm Brady Owens, your host, and I am outie like a belly button.